It's coming to the end of another financial year. And although this is not financial advice, we're going to make some recommendations on things that we feel are important for you to consider as you get towards the end of this financial year and also prepare for the next financial year. Firstly, it's very important you have a quality subject matter expert such as an accountant and/or a financial planner to support you with the decisions that you're going to make. Yeah, aiming to do this on your own, particularly as your business grows and evolves and becomes more complex, that expert outside third-party objective opinion and guidance is very important. But from our perspective, and these are the things that we look at when we do our end of financial year planning, is important, and I'm going to cover off on 4 areas to consider. Number 1 is context. Now, what I mean by that is context always gives meaning to the content. So, for example, when you look at how you want to position your business towards the end of the financial year, some of you may be looking at ways to minimize your tax, which means looking at ways to minimize the profit on paper and then therefore the tax you have to pay on that. However, if you're wanting to say set your business up for sale or investment purposes, you want to show that your business is actually considerably profitable year on year over a number of years, and therefore that will again determine how you spend these next couple of months setting up the profitability of your company. So again, there's no wrong, right, good or bad, but what is your outcome? What is your objective with closing off this financial year? So your context is important. The other aspect from context is you may be required to report to a regulatory body in your state every year, depending on which industry that you're in, and positioning your business to be equitable, reliable, profitable, and also have the right balance of liabilities to equity is important as well. So as you sit down and map that out, consider what are the outcomes that you're wanting to accomplish. Secondly, it's a good time to review the structure that your business operates in. So for you, that could be, am I in the right entity? Am I in the right company structure? Am I utilizing trusts to disperse income, to protect and set up some risk management strategies? It's a good chance to change over or reset your structure at the end of a financial year, moving into a new one as well. Again, talk to your financial planner, talk to your accountant, and ensure that you've got the right guidance to A, protect all of what you're creating in your business and/or minimize the taxation aspect moving forward. Then we come down to the last 2, and that's looking at your expenses and also having a look at your income. So if you are wanting to maximize the profitability and show on paper that you've got a profitable business for the last financial year, you may want to look at how you can bring as much of the income into this financial year as possible. Now, again, depending on how you report, whether that's on a cash basis or an accruals basis, having invoices dated and cash come into the account prior to June 30 could be one way to maximize the income in this financial year. Secondly, how do you then minimize the expenses that you are going to pay or be invoiced for in this financial year? That will give the maximum profitability aspect on paper. If it's the other way around and you want to minimize the income and therefore minimize potential taxation obligations on the other side of this, you may want to delay any income coming into the company or into the business, either in the bank as cash or on paper, till after the end of the financial year, and then bring forward as many expenses as you possibly can into this financial year. All of this is obviously cash flow dependent. If you have the surplus cash available to, say, buy up aspects of your overheads, pay for rent 6 to 12 months in advance, bring forward some of those expenses, pay extra superannuation, all of those things that on paper are paid for in this financial year, that will minimize potential taxation. So again, I'm not a financial guru in that aspect. I have learned a few I call them tricks of the trade over time in business, but I spend a lot of time with my financial team leading into this part of the year. So this is really just a seed for you to start thinking about how you want to position your business this financial year, and then plan and set up your business for the future once June 30th kicks over. I trust that's been of value for you. And again, if you'd like any support in getting in touch with some of these financial experts to support you, please let us know. We're happy to help.